Good morning, West Michigan. Very nice to see you on a Friday. I'm Tanner Holbrook.
And I'm Emily Scarlett. Thanks for waking up with us and watching on 13 Plus. We're talking about the aftermath of those storms that tore through West Michigan last night, bringing all that lightning, nonstop lightning at times. The radar showing multiple possible tornadoes that'll still have to be confirmed.
Roads are closed in dozens of places where trees and power lines are down. Of course, you saw some video here of some flooding. We know some closures are attributed to that as well. Hey, we have team coverage for you this morning with a live up-to-date look. Meteorologist Amber Twardy in Martin, where we saw one of those tornado signatures on radar. Aaron Sullivan live in Muskegon County, and Deja Barrett is in Kalamazoo for us this morning.
And Chief Meteorologist Samantha Jackson's in studio with us. Sam, these were very strong and fast moving storms.
They absolutely were, arriving to the lakeshore's edge right around 9:30 last night and clearing out of here by midnight, but certainly packing a punch as they did so, with wind gusts exceeding 75 miles per hour. And I'm sure we will see additional reports of even stronger winds embedded within those storms. And then we had the frequent thunder and lightning that came along with it. If you did not get wind damage or potentially tornadic damage, you certainly saw the light show itself. As we loop through our radar here, we saw those storms crossing Lake Michigan. It felt like almost in slow motion, and then they hit land and they raced off to the east from there. We will continue to have reports come in from the National Weather Service throughout the day today, assessing that damage, and they're saying they're going to do so quickly. And that's because we have another risk for potential severe weather tonight. The good news is that it's a much lower risk than what we experienced yesterday, with the higher risk well to the south of us down towards Kentucky.
Thanks, Sam. Now to the tornado that likely touched down in Allegan County.
The National Weather Service saying that was confirmed on radar, but still the service will have to go out and do some assessments. 13 on your sides. Amber Twardy was live here at the station tracking it all as it happened. She's joining us live in Martin now as the sun is coming up. Amber, you're clearly getting a new picture of what exactly transpired there in Allegan County.
Yeah, now that we've got some daylight out at this point, we're able to see a lot more of the damage that was left behind by yesterday's storms. Myself, meteorologist Blake Hansen, meteorologist Colton Woods were all in last night, really keeping a close eye on these storms. And somewhere that caught our attention pretty quickly was right here in Martin, where we saw a debris signature showing up on radar, which would typically indicate that you have debris that's lofted up into the atmosphere, typically by some of those rotating updrafts into that possibility of a tornado. And with this one specifically, it was looking like there was going to be a radar observed tornado warning that was taking place through Martin, portions of Door extending into Berry County. Now, one of the areas that we've been able to see some of these impacts right here in Martin. Now, this is on East Allegan Street. We've been able to see now this large tree that was snapped quite a bit of a ways up as well. So this likely fell into the roadway. Many cars are still kind of having to go around it. So things are at least a little bit slower here in Martin this morning. But I really want to point out just how high up this tree snapped. It is taller than both of the two-story homes that it's in between. So this is definitely a strong storm that snapped this tree right around, I would say, 1.5 feet to 2 feet in diameter in terms of that trunk. So things were definitely very strong last night. Severe thunderstorms that made their way on through, and we did have some damage this morning already, some of which has already disrupted traffic. I also want to mention that during the overnight hours, Martin, access to it was actually shut down just because of how many downed trees that there were. It does look like things are starting to get picked up at least a little bit as we're hitting daybreak, and as we head throughout the rest of the day, we'll have to see how things come together. So just make sure that you are taking things slow and having lots of patience as you're heading out the door this morning. Live in Martin, I'm meteorologist Amber Twardy.
Amber, thank you. So where she's at is not the only area in West Michigan seeing severe damage this morning.
13 on your sides, Deja Barrett is in the Vine neighborhood. Deja, I know you're also seeing a lot of damage and a lot of debris in the road where you are this morning.
Yeah, Emily, good morning. Definitely seeing a whole lot here. We're on Northwest Nidge between Academy and South Street. And of course, good news is daylight, and a lot of the drivers here can see what's happening on this road. Earlier, we showed you that down power pole hanging right here in the middle of the road. But let's take a look at this tree that's right along this business structure that has been completely uprooted. And the reason why it's not covering this entire street here, blocking the street, is because it's being suspended by the power lines. And so, of course, this could have been something a lot bigger, but of course, contributing to the power outage this morning. Now, West Nidge, a busy street this morning. We're seeing drivers fly down this one-way street. They're used to flying down, but once they get to this point, they are slowing down as they see the trees and down power lines. A note, basic one-on-one driving to drivers. If you come to a traffic signal that is inoperable, that's not working, you definitely want to treat it like a four-way stop. We've been seeing folks fly through this area, and we definitely want to avoid any type of crashes along with the damage that we are assessing this morning. Kalamazoo Public Safety has a list on their Facebook page of other major closures as residents here get ready to head out on their morning commute. Of course, we're keeping you live on air and online as the storm damage is assessed and power is restored to the thousands that are waking up without it. Live in Kalamazoo, Deja Barrett, 13 on your side.
Deja, thank you. Muskegon County, another hard-hit area, and was one of the first to see these storms pass through.
So we've seen dozens of photos and videos from our viewers. We're talking trees down and even power lines knocked over, power out to many of those customers. 13 on your side's Aaron Sullivan live for us there now. Aaron, you've been there since about 3 this morning, and you've had a really good chance to see a lot of damage. What have you seen so far?
Good morning. Well, I can tell you if you're waking up in Muskegon this morning, it's not going to take long to find a scene like this. A lot of trees uprooted and pulled out of the ground. You can even see this tree here on Doucet and Abbey Drive falling and landing in between these two cars parked right here. But what I really want you to take a look at is these roots right here. The fact that these were snapped and pulled up from the ground, and you can even see on the other side, some of that grass is still intact with the soil on this tree, and it's really just unbelievable to be here up close and to see these roots in the ground completely torn out of the ground and snapped, again, falling into the street. And of course, this isn't the only scene we saw. Our crews were out on the lakeshore all night long, getting video footage of a lot of downed trees that a lot of residents in Muskegon are going to wake up to. So if you didn't hit the road yet, you're going to want to make sure you go and check on your car, because you might be unlucky, like this gentleman here who actually spoke to us around 4 a.m. this morning and said he is just in disbelief at the strong winds that Muskegon experienced last night. For now in Muskegon, I'm Aaron Sullivan, 13 on your side.
Yeah, with more light, seeing that tree did not miss that car completely. Aaron, thanks for all your live reporting this morning. Now, on top of all the damage to homes, trees, and cars, our power grid also taking a really big hit last night. Another look now at the Consumers Energy outage map. We're still seeing around 190,000 residents, there we go, without power at this time. That's from around 3,600 outage reports. And it's interesting, if you look at the outages here, you can see that line, the same line the storms took from the southern part of the lakeshore going right over to the east side of the state.
Now, here at the station, we only have so many crews and cameras we can send out, so a lot of what we report on from these storms comes from you at home, our viewers. So let's see what we have been receiving so far. I just want to draw your attention to that picture in the top right corner of your screen. Aaron Smith sent us this great lightning photo. If you were awake at the time of these storms, you know just how vast and how strong and powerful that lightning seemed out there. A lot of the other pictures that we're seeing, for example, Lakewood Club in the top left corner of your screen sent us down trees there. Courtney Cooper also sending us a picture of what appears to be traffic cones in the road, perhaps blocking the way towards something that could be hazardous in the road. Again, lots of pictures that we have been receiving from our folks at home. We really do appreciate that.